Imagine trying to build a modern skyscraper, but your only material is solid stone, and your tools? They're from 1,000 years ago. Sounds pretty much impossible, right? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, the incredible architectural legacy of the Chola dynasty. It's a story of ambition, devotion, and some serious engineering genius, all carved in granite. All right, let's just jump right into the heart of it. Take a look at this incredible structure. This is the Pragadiswar Temple in Tanjavur. It soars higher than a modern 15-story building, but it was finished over 1,000 years ago. And here's the really mind-bending part. It was built in a place with absolutely no stone. None. So, how on earth did they pull that off? So, to answer that, we've got to understand who the builders were. See, the Cholas weren't just kings and conquerors. No, they were master builders who completely transformed the landscape of southern India, one magnificent temple at a time. But here's the interesting part. They didn't start out building these giants. Nope. Early Chola structures were actually pretty modest. Everything, and I mean everything, changed with the reign of Rajarajan I and his son Rajendra Chola. This father-son duo, they didn't just build temples, they completely changed the definition of what a temple could be. They turned them into these massive statements of power and faith, kicking off an era of truly colossal construction. And right at the very heart of their legacy is a true crowning achievement. That temple we saw right at the beginning, the Pragadiswar Temple in Tanjavur, yeah, that one is considered the absolute pinnacle of their architectural genius. Okay, so let's just try to wrap our heads around the scale here. The main tower, it's called the Vinaman, stands at a staggering 60 meters high. To put that in perspective for you, that's almost 200 feet of intricately carved granite just pointing straight to the sky. It's basically a skyscraper made of stone, built a millennium ago. And get this marvel of engineering was completed all the way back in 1009 AD. Just think about what the world was like back then. Over 1,000 years ago, this thing was already dominating the skyline. It's a testament to a level of skill and vision that honestly is hard to even comprehend today. And the grandeur just continues on the inside. Right in the heart of the temple, you've got the main idol. It's a sacred symbol known as the Rahalingam, and it is a giant, carved from a single piece of stone, standing 3.7 meters tall. Every single detail of this place was designed to just inspire pure awe. Which, of course, brings us right back to that central mystery. With no stone quarries for miles and miles, how in the world did they transport and lift thousands of tons of granite to build a 60-meter-tall tower? How did they do it? So how did they solve this massive puzzle? Well, no blueprint survived, so we can't be 100% sure, but the leading theory is just brilliant in its simplicity. Historians think they built a massive, gently sloping ramp out of earth, stone, and lime, a ramp that might have stretched for miles. This created a pathway for elephants to drag these enormous granite blocks up, layer by layer, as the 15-story tower got taller and taller. It wasn't just construction. It was an absolutely incredible feat of ancient project management. But the story doesn't end with Rajarajan I. Oh no. His son, Rajendra Chola, was also a huge builder, and he had his own grand vision, one that would honor his father's legacy, but also let him make his own mark. Okay, so let's play a little game of spot the difference here. On the left, you've got Rajarajan's masterpiece in Tanjavur, and on the right, that's his son's creation over at Gangaikonda Cholapuram. You can immediately see the family resemblance, right? The massive tower, the overall shape. But look a little closer. There are some subtle, really important differences that tell a fascinating story. So here's the deal. Rajendra Chola built his temple about 25 years after his father's. And while he clearly used his dad's temple as the blueprint, he made a huge statement. His temple has the largest Shiva Lingam, that's the main sacred idol, in all of South India. It was this beautiful act of, well, one-upmanship, honoring his father's incredible legacy while also making his own even bigger mark. But look, these two great temples, they're really just the beginning. The Cholas built hundreds of others, and each one has its own unique story and incredible features. So let's take a quick tour of a few more of these stone wonders, shall we? Okay, first stop on our little tour, the ArivuChinthan Temple, built back in the 12th century. Now, this one isn't about sheer size. It's definitely smaller than the two giants we just looked at. But what it lacks in scale, it more than makes up for in just incredible artistic detail. Seriously, think of it like a jewel box carved from stone. And here is where it gets truly amazing. The entire temple is designed to look like a massive stone chariot being pulled by horses and elephants. But the real surprise here, it isn't visual, it's audible. The steps leading up to the main altar, they're musical. I am not kidding. When you tap on them, they produce the distinct notes of the Indian classical scale: sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. These are literally stone steps that can sing. All right, next, let's head over to the Thilai Natarajar Temple in Chidambaram. This place held a really special place in the hearts of the Cholas. It was one of the symbolic centers of their entire dynasty, a hub for art, culture, and worship. So what's its most iconic feature? A stunning golden canopy, or vimanam, that covers the most sacred inner chamber. This was actually added by an earlier king, Parantaka Chola, and he was so proud of it that he earned the title Ponwento Cholan, which literally means the Chola who covered the temple in gold. Not a bad nickname, right? But the Cholas didn't just build tall, and they didn't just build with intricate detail. They also built wide. I mean, really wide. This is the Rajagopalaswamy Temple, and it's less of a single building and more of a sprawling city made of stone. Okay, just listen to these numbers for a second. The complex covers 23 acres. It has 16 massive gateway towers called gopurams, 7 courtyards, 7 great halls, and 9 sacred ponds. The logistics of just building, let alone maintaining, a place this huge, it's just mind-boggling. So what does all of this add up to? Well, it's an architectural legacy that is as enduring as the very stone it was carved from. Now, it's really important to give credit where credit is due. The Cholas didn't invent this style completely from scratch. As architects and historians point out, their work was really a continuation, or maybe a perfection, really, of a temple building style that was pioneered by the earlier Pallava dynasty. But man, they took that foundation and just launched it into the stratosphere. From the sky-piercing towers to the impossibly intricate carvings that cover every single surface, the Cholas didn't just build temples, they perfected an art form. One that continues to inspire and awe us, even today, over a millennium later. So, I want to leave you with a final thought. 1,000 years later, these stone giants are still here, a permanent record of a civilization's ambition and belief. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In another 1,000 years, what parts of our world will still be standing? What will our legacy be?